Good morning, gentlemen. This is a second example of a lotus diagram, and this diagram undertakes a particular strategy that I want you to be aware of. One of the key ideas that underpins our approach to the research program, to the research project, is the idea that we should connect it to the subjects that we study, to our areas of understanding and expertise. So we'll discuss that idea in more detail during the course, but let's apply that idea to simply the topic coffee, and we can start then to consider how can we apply our expertise, to the topic of coffee. If we look here on this chart, it's clear to see that we're able to use coffee as the central idea of our Lotus and then start to create areas of expertise in and around that central idea. So what we've decided is that, for instance, we can look at coffee from what we would call an economic perspective, a chemical perspective, a geographical perspective, a historical perspective, an agricultural perspective, or even, for instance, from a biological or nutritional perspective. So the way that we pull that together in the research project is to say, let's apply the idea of our expertise, get up, get busy, and go, and don't be afraid to get some ideas from a subject expert. What does it actually mean? It means that we should pursue whatever avenue we can to start to populate these Lotus diagram headings. So let's look, for instance, at the idea of how could we apply the concept of agriculture to coffee. We do what we've discussed, which is we take agriculture, we place it now in our Lotus diagram as one of the petals of the flower, and we say, well, from an agricultural point of view, we could look at cultivation methods for coffee. We could look at tropical coffee plantations and global warming. We could look at conditions to maximize coffee yield. Let's look at it from a biological perspective. Caffeine as a performance-enhancing drug. Excess coffee consumption impacting on our metabolic rate. Age restrictions on the consumption of coffee products. If we move further, we can look at the history. What were the traditional trade routes for coffee? Origins of coffee as consumed in Western countries. Coffee and colonization. Coffee and conflict. Those of you with an interest in economics might consider, what's the market power derived from coffee? What about the claim that coffees only cost 20 cents worth of product to make? Fair trade coffee, volatile prices of coffee, problems for developing countries. And finally, from the perspective of chemistry, the chemical changes to coffee, caffeine as a stimulant, and the efficiency of caffeine extraction. All of these subject headings give us an opportunity to explore the ideas around our subject area. So what we're looking for when we undertake a research project is that richness of understanding of our topic. It is dangerous for us to get one idea, apply one question to it, and then think that that's going to score us the type of score we like in the research project. Our job today is to start to think more deeply about the Lotus diagram, the benefits that it brings us, and how we can apply that to our own research process.